He's going to need to take, he's got the third expansion here, he's going to put up a planetary fortress and got some turrets down as well to defend. This one is not going to go down quite so easily. We've got a lot of roaches from the wind. It's really his only sort of response here is just to get a lot of units that can take a lot of hits, because the roaches, obviously with their armor, are going to do a lot better than some of the other units, although I would probably suggest getting out a lot more anti-air, given that the Ravens are getting into a really high amount now. As you can see, we certainly do have a lot of them there. We've actually got 10 Ravens out just at the moment. Wind has actually spotted this expansion, but there are some turrets up and the planetary fortress is ready to go, and this is probably going to take out a lot of these units that are coming across from the wind. He's got a little force here. I wouldn't really say it's enough though just at the moment. That's it's because of the way the planetary fortress works with its massive splash damage, and its and it can obviously be really repaired quite quickly by a lot of SCVs. The planetary fortress probably won't go down. We got a little bit of an engagement here. The Ravens tried to intercept this force here using the cover of the tall grass here. He's trying to lure the Terran inside the tall grass to try and catch him out by surprise. But the Ravens are just going to come through here, dropping off auto turrets all over the place, and that is going to be a lot of auto turrets to deal with for the wind. And as we can see, Ravens just all over the place. You would probably expect they're going to put some more down. I believe they have some more energy, but no, that's pretty much all of them done. As we can see, the roaches do a great job in actually fighting off the auto turrets, but there are just so many of them here. He's actually going to lose this hatchery, I would assume. Not to mention there was an attack at the front here as well, which is going to take care of some of the units there. But he's going to back off there with the Ravens, and we're probably going to see an expansion being taken, I would assume, by the wind, given that he does have a little bit of time now to actually get some forces back together. But we'll see what happens. He's doing a nice job controlling the island expansion here, putting down creep, which is really, really annoying until you get some units to take it out, take out the Overlord. And we are still seeing this sort of Mutiling Roach combo at the moment. Lots of Lings still, which is good to see, because he can use them to harass multiple locations around the map. But obviously with the planetary fortress, this thing is really not going to go down to Lings, you would assume. There we go. There's the expansion for the wind. He's taken the 3 o'clock base up here, and then he's going to try and push in, I would assume. But there are now so many Ravens out on the map. This is going into the territory of just being enough to defend themselves in their large little fleets of Ravens. And he's actually, Wind is used the Contaminate spell on the starports to try and just slow down the Raven production there, as you can see. But it does slow them down a little bit, which is a nice little tactic to use. But in this particular position, we are seeing that there are just so many Ravens being pumped out, and given that Wind actually got left behind here with his lair, he got struck so far back by that earlier attack on the lair, which took it out. He's only just gotten his hive up, so we're probably going to see an Ultralisk stand go down in a moment. I would assume that is on the way shortly, and these mutas are going to try and come in here and actually harass, but obviously there's about at least 60 billion turrets sitting here at the planetary fortress, which is going to protect it. Marines, as you can see here, just this the low sort of just the purely mineral count units here from Terran. As I said before, you can really only stick with those sorts of units when you're pumping out Raven after Raven. And Wind's going to try and get this 3 o'clock expansion up and running, but as you can see, he's taking his time there at the moment. Some more contaminates going down from Wind. He's still going to try and slow down the production of the Ravens. There's still 2 on the way, but they have been slowed down. The total of 17 Ravens just at the moment is, you would assume, going to cause a lot of trouble here. One little Hellion just sitting here, taking his shots at the Creep Tumor. Oh, we've got Heatseeker missiles going down as well. We've got them all over the place. These things will absolutely tear apart Mutalisks, and they do follow all the units, especially they follow the Zerg units constantly, especially when you have the durable materials upgrade. They just keep going and going and going. As you can see here, he actually does run away and they do fall to the ground, but what that's done is open up the front door for this this sizable Marine force, and obviously with all the Ravens here as well. So probably going to see a bit of a battle here in a moment once these Banelings and the mutas come back. There we go. The Banelings just absolutely exploding everything there. Huge attack. The heat seeker missiles go down on the Mutalisk. They all die, and all of the roaches are almost dead as well. As you can see, we're probably going to see the end of Wind here with all of the turrets going down all over the place. He's just going to plop them down. He does not care that there is a spore caller here. He's just going to put everything down. Wind is in a really bad position at the moment. He's going to just start pumping out a lot of lings, you would assume, just to try and make sure he has some ground control, but he is obviously in damage control at the moment, given that he's actually lost all of those mutas to just a couple of heat seeker missiles, and the Ravens are going to come back to repair, I would assume, because you really need to. That's one thing about this particular build. You cannot lose any of the Ravens to just sort of idly floating around with no HP. So you've got to make sure that you actually fly them back when they're in danger of dying, and make sure you repair them. Ultralisk popping out here as well. Where did the Ultralisk then go down? I would assume that's at one of the expansions. I don't know, but Ultralisks are out, and we'll see how the Ultralisks go against the turrets. More turrets going down here. The turrets seem to be doing a great job of shooting down all the smaller units, but they look to be obviously having a lot of trouble with the Ultralisks, given that they do have so much armor and so much health. 500 health on the Ultralisk. Can they actually take out the turrets before the turrets get rid of this expansion? I would think, yeah, they are going to do it. Ultralisk just running through there, hacking apart everything. The Ravens are going to get away, though. This is another advantage of this particular build, is that you can actually just stick with the Raven, and then they can just fly around. And there's really, unless the Zerg commits to air, there is really nothing that the Zerg can do to kill them off, and unless some Corruptors come out, or some just a whole bunch of Mutalisks. But as we saw, Mutalisks are not really an effective counter, given that when they bunch up, they will just get absolutely smashed apart by the Heatseeker missiles, which will do tons and tons of damage. Another attack here at the 3 o'clock position for Terran. He's going to take this one out, just dropping a few turrets down, not too many, doesn't want to waste all of the energy, and he's going to fly down here and see this extra base at the expansion not cancelled by the Wind, even though he probably had a little bit of time to cancel it, but he didn't want to there. So 2 turrets do go down at this particular expansion, while a massive attack is going down at the 9 o'clock position. SCVs all over the joint, repairing this planetary fortress, given the recent tiny little change in StarCraft 2. The splash sort of bug that was considered by Blizzard has been fixed, so the SCVs are going to sit here and just repair away at the planetary fortress, but it does go down because there are just so many Ultralisks here. There are a total of 8 Ultralisks out on the map, but we've got these Ravens still just flying around doing massive damage against everything here from the Wind, and the Wind is going to lose a lot of these Ultralisks over here, and he's obviously going to lose this hive in just a second. There are so many turrets going down. He's got looks like a total of something like 20-something turrets just plowing away at the hive and at the Ultralisk here. The Ultralisk dies, and obviously there are still a few Ultralisks here, but there is just not enough to make up the difference here, and more turrets are going down at the main expansion. This one is going to go down. I would think that is the end of that. A really awesome strategy there by Terran, using the Ravens to great effect, like we saw in one of the previous games, and just unfortunate for the Wind. He just sort of there was really no counter there, especially once he lost all of those Mutalisks to the few stray Heatseeker missiles, and that is the GG, and that was it, folks. So great little game there. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Make sure, as I said before, I enjoy this sorts of unorthodox strategy, so make sure you send any through, and send them through to DUCKVILLELOL@gmail.com, and we'll take a look at them. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Cheers.